morning, G7 learners. Welcome to another session of a fun and fulfilling journey in English. I am Teacher Kim, and for today's session, I will discuss the distinguished features of linear and non-linear text, its examples, and how to transpose them. At the end of the session, you are expected to 1. Differentiate linear from nonlinear text. 2. Analyze relationships between textual representations. 3. Transcode linear to nonlinear text or vice versa. What can you say about the given text? Yes, you're right. Pictures are classified as nonlinear text, while the short text is an example of a linear text.
Let us discuss linear and nonlinear text, its examples, and how to transform them. What is a linear text? A linear text refers to the traditional text that needs to be read from beginning to end in order to make sense of its content. It follows a sequential reading path where the reader tries to make sense of the text through grammatical arrangement and relationship of words. Here are examples of linear text. We have novels, poems, short stories, letters, and educational text. Are you familiar with this? I hope so. How about nonlinear text? A nonlinear text is non-sequential, wherein the reader will decide how the text is to be read without necessarily following a prescribed pattern. What are examples of nonlinear text? First one we have line graph. It is a graphical display of data that continuously changes over a specific amount or period of time. The line represents movement and may ascend or descend depending on the trend they show. Another example of nonlinear text is a bar graph. It is also known as bar chart or bar diagram, a graphical representation of data that uses bars to compare data according to given categories. It can run either vertically or horizontally. We have also pie chart as an example of nonlinear text. It is also known as pie graph that is considered a circular statistical tool. It uses portions or slices to represent numerical proportions or percentages of a given whole. Another example for nonlinear text is a Venn diagram. It uses overlapping shapes that are usually circles to show or represent the similarities and differences between two or more items or concepts. Let us now proceed with the rules that we need to consider in transcoding linear to nonlinear texts and vice versa. First, read and understand the source text to get its main or central ideas. Second consideration, extract important details to be included in the visual presentation. Third, remember to use words or phrases only. Fourth, to be organized, classify information into categories. Lastly, make sure to use the appropriate nonlinear text in presenting your information.
And with that, let us try to do this activity to gauge if you learned something from the discussion. Identify the type of nonlinear text being described in each item by choosing the correct letter of your answer.
Number 1. Uses lines to show the relationship between ideas and concepts. Letter A, bar graph. Letter B, line graph. Letter C, pie chart. What's your answer for number 1? Very good. It's B, line graph. Number 2. Shows the similarities and differences between two or more different items. Is it A, line graph, B, pie graph, or C, Venn diagram? How about in number 2? What's your answer? Great job! That's C, Venn diagram. Number 3. A visual tool that uses bars to compare data among categories. Is it A, bar graph, B, pie chart, or C, Venn diagram? What's your answer for number 3? Excellent! You got it. It is A, bar graph. Number 4. A circular statistical graphic divided into slices to illustrate numerical proportion. A, line graph, B, pie chart, or C, Venn diagram. What's your answer for number 4? Absolutely, the answer is B, pie chart. For our last item, we have a graphical display of information that continuously changes over time. A, bar graph, B, line graph, or C, pie chart. May I know your answer? Brilliant! The last one is B, or line graph.
And now, let's dig deeper by answering the next activity. Your second task is to analyze the following linear text and identify the appropriate nonlinear text to be used. A linear text follows a sequential reading path where the reader tries to make sense of the text through grammatical arrangement and relationship of words, while a nonlinear text is non-sequential, wherein the readers decide how the text is to be read without following a prescribed pattern. Understanding the differences between these two texts is an essential skill that will improve our reading capabilities. To further enhance your learning today, you will look for one example of linear text from the you have, then transpose it into an appropriate nonlinear representation. You did an incredible job today. I hope you had so much fun with just like I did. So, this is Teacher Game.